Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out The Unknown, an Asylum game jam made in 48 hours by David Ricco of Dead Man Walking Studios. This is a procedurally generated first-person horror game, one that I have very little knowledge of. All I've taken is about 10 seconds to get my sound levels in this one, so I know basically nothing about it. Pretty simple-looking controls, though. WASD to move, space to jump, left mouse, hold to move objects, press T to mark walls, so I guess we might end up getting lost in some sort of a labyrinth here. Being that it's procedurally generated, I suppose that's kind of obvious. And loading may take a long time after hitting play, depending on your system, so nice little, warning message to make sure that we don't get too frustrated if it, doesn't happen instantly. This was recommended by a viewer, and I think since it came from this Asylum game jam, this is probably a game jam that I'm going to have to watch in the future in case this happens more often, but I figured maybe we'll go a little bit heavier on the horror games for October since it's so spooky this month, I mean, September was pretty spooky as well, but why not take October to the next level? That's what I say anyway. So let's hit play on this and see what happens. Alright, so here we are in The Unknown. We spawn in front of a statue with a note attached to it. Escape the trap of Morpheus to once again be free, but Charon's oboe is not enough. I require thee, so it's poetic as well. This is a Unity game, in case you were wondering, and I think a pretty ambitious one to go ahead and make a freaking procedurally generated horror game in 48 hours. I would never undertake a thing like that. Let's see what happens when we mark a wall. Okay, so it puts a bloody handprint with which to remember things by. So any shortcomings here, I just do want to really stress that, 48 hours is not a reasonable amount of time to make a game in general. So we're going to be a little bit lenient on some things, although I probably still will mention the things that bother me, one of which would be that texture seam right there. But, many things will need refinement over, the next coming months if this was to be a full release or something, and it is not. It is a free download, so we can't really be too harsh. Only those who gaze into the unknown shall know true fear. Alright, so we do have a gold and a fear meter in the top left corner, something to note. There is, I don't know what that's about. Some sort of a blood cloud just appeared in front of me, and it caused a weird, smoky texture to appear over the front of the screen. Sort of an awkward little overlay, which wasn't the best looking thing. Oh, we've got a glitched out texture here, though. Okay, the blood cloud seems to be maybe our... Oh, there's a floating head involved in that as well. Alright, so I guess that's our monster. We want to probably not go in that direction then. We'll go in a different direction, which is fine. So we have several to choose from. Being that this is procedurally generated, every single experience should be somewhat different. There should be some rooms, maybe, that are not exactly the same every time, and hopefully we'll run into some different things. We've got... We've got some gooey pink jelly walls. I guess it's blood, but definitely looks a bit gooey. And the head is chasing us now. Alright, so we've got a fear level of 6, which is higher than any of the First Encounter Assault Recon games have ever gone, in my opinion. So, I mean, as far as their titling system. So we're going to continue to walk around here and maybe find some more gold. I'm not sure if the gold is really a thing that we need, or if it's just like a vestigial collection option. Alright, we've got some blood being dragged toward this wall, or maybe dragged into that cage. I'm not sure which. We should be able to jump over these crates, or barrels, rather. And I'm getting a little bit of like an Amnesia vibe from some of this, although the skull is very persistent. It reminds me a little bit of like Soul Calibur or something, or Soul Reaver rather. It's like Raziel's disembodied head floating around. And falling off of that little torture rack seems to cause my character to do a weird thing. Can I jump over this barrel? Oh, it looks like I can actually. Maybe? Oh, no, I bent it. Now it's sort of like falling over halfway up the stairs. That's probably bad. I'm trying not to worry too much about the skull thing that's chasing me, because it doesn't seem to be all that effective at, doing whatever it needs to do to finish me off. Although my fear level is at 7 now, I'm not sure where the maximum capacity of my ability to handle fear is. I'm going to assume probably 11. Seems like a good number. Alright, so there's our entrance again. I guess we'll go straight ahead. I don't think I've gone this way yet. Pretty sure I wanted to go ahead and check out that area where the barrel had tipped over. Oh wait, I've already been in here, I guess. It's very easy to get disoriented and turned around, so I guess I will go ahead and mark one of these walls when I get back to the hub point here. There we go, so now I should be able to tell fairly quickly that I've been in that direction. It's a good call to have a mark like that. I think that definitely helps with the gameplay. And I think actually doing a procedural horror game is a really good idea. I think it really does do a lot to keep the player from falling into some patterns. Oh, the lights are going out here. Okay. And I think the thing that really keeps a horror game fresh is your ability to not be lulled into this sense of feeling secure and knowing what's coming and what you need to expect. And having the architecture and the geometry be randomly generated, it really does do wonders to keep the player off, their center of balance, so to speak. The sense of ambience here, pretty good, pretty palpable. I mean, it feels like territory we've covered a few times in the horror subgenre. It feels like one of those, like, castle scenes or some sort of a dungeon, I suppose. It might feel right at home in some sort of an RPG, although this is definitely not an RPG. Now, this has been the longest hallway by far, but apparently it goes in a big old circle somehow. I'm not sure quite how that works. Because I don't remember doubling back, but I guess I did. So that leaves us with really just this one angle left to go in. And I should probably try a few runs in this game in case we end up not being able to solve this, because I was made aware somewhere in one of the developer blog areas there was a little thing that said, like, there's a bug where sometimes you won't be able to get all the items that you need to finish a run of the game, in which case you should probably start over. But, that comes with the territory if you make a game in 48 hours. I guess this barrel seems to have reset, although, okay, almost had the same exact problem happen again. And there's the skull. I guess I'll just, like, mark the walls a bunch of times. That'll probably help, right? I died. Alright, my fear got to level 10. That's too spooky for me, so apparently I died of fright. Alright, so we should be back in now, in hopefully a new map. I guess we will have a look and see what's different out here. One thing I have to hand the developer, which is a huge deal to me, is the fact that the mouse cursor actually gets captured by the game. It's a thing that I've had people say on a number of occasions, like there's just like a couple lines of code you need to add for that, but amazingly nobody seems to do it. So let's walk around and see what's changed. Alright, looks like we have another hub section, and there's a hanging... Wait a minute, what? How does that work? Oh, I guess maybe this... I walked through like a wall, like this thing right here, and it seems to, like, turn me around or something? Really don't understand how that works exactly. Alright, well, I guess it's pretty good at disorienting me. Oh, look, there's stairs. Oh, God. That actually did catch me off guard. It looked like weird physics from when the hollows die in Dark Souls falling down the stairs at me. Alright, well, this skull is not going to really allow me passage here if it's just going to stand directly in my path. But I guess I can just sort of walk right through, which is fine, I guess. I don't really need to get involved with fighting him if he's not going to kill me. Not that I can fight him. That would be a whole different game, I suppose. This is more of an exploratory horror game. Ooh, we've got some spooky sounds. I would really enjoy seeing some changes in the architecture on a larger scale, or maybe even the direct environment that we're in. Maybe we could go outside for a minute or go somewhere a little bit less spooky for a moment to help ratchet up. Wow, that's weird. Ratchet up the tension a bit. This is very like Silent Hill. Random giant hand with an eyeball on it. Definitely didn't expect to find that. So, I mean, that's another great thing about a randomly generated horror game, is the fact that you could run into stuff that maybe you've never even seen. Or maybe the developer could patch in some new stuff that maybe you'll see on another playthrough. And, the fact that it all gets tossed together at the last minute means that, there's all kinds of little secrets and surprises that might jump out in all the right or wrong ways, depending on how you look at things. So it looks like this is a pretty drastically different layout from the first one. Uh-oh, I guess I've tripped some sort of a tag in the ground that's made a scary sound happen. I think with probably a few weeks of development, and that's not really a very long time either. I think a lot of games spend easily over a year. Oh, we've got a missing texture there. I think with just a little bit more time in development, this could actually turn into something really cool. I mean, right now, it's a little bit, unpolished, which completely acceptable given the amount of time that it's been in development, like I've said a couple of times already. But I would love to see where this could go, and I like the idea of it. I just wish it was a little bit more mixed up, a little different on the environment over time, a little bit more to see. But those are all things that the developer expressed in his ambitions on the IndieDB page anyway, so it's not like we're not on the same page there. And I'm wondering what the point of the gold is, really, because I haven't seen really a way that I could use it on anything, but maybe that's just because I didn't spawn in the right way to experience one of those things. Where am I? I just keep going through fog, and it's really disorienting. I don't know if that's good or bad or indifferent. Okay, well, I don't know where I'm going. Is this the same staircase? Maybe both of these sides actually loop around. That's probably what it is. Probably if I went right, I would end up going left. So the only place to go is up, or something like that. I'm not really sure. I also don't know where I am right now either. I don't know if I've been down this path yet. I was just hoping to run into some more weird stuff. Like that hand with the eyeball in it, I think definitely makes for some engaging visuals. Although it's definitely so dark that you might end up missing some stuff. Uh-oh. Well, Spooky Skull's here. I don't really understand the proximity that you get, you know, one added to your fear counter either. Oh, look. It's you again. Does this do anything? Oh, I thought I, like, fell through the floor for a second. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap up this episode because I seem to have run out of things to see. Perhaps, or maybe I just didn't go in the right direction. But I would urge you, go ahead and check out The Unknown. It is a free download. Will be in the description. See what you think of it. Let me know, guys. I am curious to hear your opinions. What do you think of the concept of procedurally generated horror games? Because the developer is actually working on a bigger project, like a fully realized 3D procedurally generated sandbox horror game, which sounds pretty compelling as well, and I might be interested in taking a look at that in a future episode. But let me know what you think of this concept in the comments. What are the pluses? What are the minuses? What would you have changed about this concept right here? What did you like? What didn't you like? All of that good stuff. And I died. That'll happen. And of course, if you're leaving a comment, feel free to leave me any sort of suggestions for other games to play in the series, or if you have any, you know, support that you'd like to leave in the form of likes, that's always welcome as well. Suggestions, comments, criticisms, they're all totally cool with me. So I guess we're doing a round 3 here while I wrap things up. But aside from that stuff, feel free to check out my social media information, my Facebook, my Twitch, my Twitter, and of course, indie-impressions.com for over 500 and, well, we're very nearly 550 episodes into the series now, so hopefully you can find something over there that you like. All different genres and types of games are all neatly sorted for your perusal, so let me know if there's anything more that you need to see on the site, and hopefully you have a nice, pleasant experience over there. So that'll do it for another episode. Make sure you come back again tomorrow. New episodes are every single day. Looks like we can go up 2 floors on this one. That's a new thing for me. But I will catch you back next time for another one. And again, please let me know what you think about this concept. I am very interested in hearing your experiences if you have something particularly interesting or crazy happen to you while you're playing The Unknown. So I hope you have a lovely night, and I will catch you tomorrow.